You've inspired us again.
Today we're sharing even more of your amazing quilt creations and exactly how they've inspired us.
Hi, it's Donna Robertson.
And Fran Morgan with Fabric Cafe.
We showcased some of your amazing quilts in a recent video and shared how they had inspired us.
Well, they inspired a lot of other people too. We have even more quilts from you that we just had to share.
Let's take a look at the first one. Now, the first quilt is by Joanna, and she did the Friendship Star. I must say, this is one stunning quilt.
It is. It's gorgeous. Your fabric
Yes.
choices are great.
Now, she got very creative with her fabric choices. She used a layer cake for the large block.
Oh.
And then she's used other fabrics, so it has kind of like a scrappy look to it.
I love it. I
do
like that
too.
scrappy look, and this is a great pattern to do that.
And I love the inspiration story behind this, Joanna. She's given it to a woman who cared for her mother the last few years of her life. And she says she's a remarkable woman who loves growing flowers. Well, this is a remarkable quilt for that remarkable woman.
She's going to love it.
I think so too.
So fabulous and so inspiring.
Yes, real close to my heart. Now, we do have some fabric that we felt like was kind of close to mimicking what she did. So if you were inspired by that, this particular quilt kit, let's look at this #1 fabric. And it's an ombre, so we're going to show it to you. And it goes from selvage to selvage. It gets a little lighter and a little less dense in the middle.
Okay.
So whenever you cut this up to make the friendship quilt, it is going to give you that look of difference from block to block.
Like you've used multiple fabrics
Yes.
even though you didn't.
Yes.
Oh.
So that's our #1 fabric, and it's going to go everywhere that you see the large block, the large floral. And then our #2 fabric is going to be the portion behind that causes that star to really pop off of the surface of the quilt. And I love the little peekaboo of the #1 fabric in the middle of the block.
star. I love that too. It's just a little pop of color.
Yeah, and then the #3 fabric is this wonderful navy. Both of these textural 2 and 3 are perfect for the little more intricacy of the secondary block and really show off the contrast with the main fabric. It's going to be a beautiful quilt.
Very
But let's just show you an image and talk about it. See how that did with the different fabrics, making it almost look like you've used a layer cake.
Yes, and I love that beige in the #2 position. I think it keeps it very warm and just real grounded.
Yes, it has a very elegant feel to it.
It really does. And wow, look at the #1 fabric, the ombre, how you get different bits of that fabric in all the different blocks. I love that.
I do too, and I love the way the centers of the Friendship Star all have that different look too. So it does give you that kind of a scrappy feel.
It really does. Oh, wow. Oh, thank you, Joanna, for inspiring us on this. I think that, I don't know that I would have put this together, but Joanna's quilt is so gorgeous. I
did
love
inspire
the
it.
way this came together.
Absolutely.
So pretty.
Now this kit is called Garden Serenade, and it's the Friendship Star from the Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilt Book.
Now, Cheryl sent in our next quilt, and she made Heritage from the One Block book. I love what she's done here. Now, she's used 3 yards of fabric for this.
Really looks great.
It's amazing. So for her focus fabric, she used this textural print that has all different colors in it. It looks like it's got some golds and some pinks and little touches of blue in it.
And maybe a
So
little bit of
pretty.
green too, kind of an
yes.
aqua color.
Love it. And then she put it with a #2 that looks like a light aqua and a #3 that looks like a dark aqua. Very, very good color combination. And I have to say, Cheryl, you got your contrast perfect.
Oh, yes.
Perfect. And the #1 really adds that punch.
Well, I really like the fact that the #1 fabric is it's so showcased by the borders and the alternate block. It's just like you just are drawn into that beautiful fabric that she's picked out.
It is fabulous. And you can really see the design coming forward in that. Wow. So good, Cheryl.
That is great.
All right. Now, Cheryl, we loved your quilt so much, we wanted to put something as close to it as we possibly could because it was so good. All right, so we have found a focus fabric that has many different colors, very much like yours did. It has all of this movement and all the color is just flowing and dancing across the surface.
Fluid dynamics.
And that is going to go in our number 1 position right here. And then, of course, it's going to be framed with our number 3. We're going to get there. But we also put a light aqua in our number 2 position. Now, this is a textural, but it's very faint, and it's got that nice green-blue touch to it.
Really picks up the blues and greens in the number
So
1.
good. Yes, and that is going to go where you see the green here and our little squares here, and then all of the green and a little on the border. That's going to be that aqua color. Then we have used a great bright blue for our number 3, once again mimicking Cheryl and thanking her so much for the inspiration. And this is going to go here where the navy is, a little on the border, and that's going to create our kind of grid look, I guess.
Yes.
And it's going to be so perfect. Oh my goodness, let's look at an image because I love this.
Wow.
It is so pretty. That focus fabric is fabulous.
And it's doing the same thing that happened
With Cheryl's
with
quilt.
Cheryl's quilt. It really draws you in. It's very interesting to look at.
It's
Fun.
so good, and I just love that you guys put these combinations together, and they're just so perfect. So we want to do that too.
You know, it's funny. We started out with inspiring them, and now they have become our teachers.
Totally, totally. And
It gives us a different point of view.
it really, really does. You guys are so creative. All right, let's get you the kit information on this because it's gorgeous. It is called Windswept Hues, and it is our heritage pattern from the 1 Block 3 Yard Quilt Book.
Now, Christina had this great fabric with a big seam, and she wanted to showcase it. And so she used a row quilt, and you're getting the whole picture when you do that, cut up into those rows, so you can really see how beautiful that turned out. Good choice of fabric to show off a scenery.
Absolutely. Good choice of fabric and great choice of pattern. The checkmate is perfect for that.
It is. And I remember whenever I designed that quilt, I was looking for something that would not cut up the fabric because there were so many different fabrics out that we wanted to showcase. And she captured it.
She did. You got the perfect essence there. And your fabric is gorgeous. It's directional. It has a story going across the surface. What a wonderful, wonderful quilt. Absolutely love it.
And then the
Great
4
job.
patches just kind of set it off and gives you that little resting place in between the picture story.
It's great.
It is great, Christina.
Good job.
So we picked out some fabric that we wanted to share with you. And even though it doesn't have a scene, it does have like a overview of a forest.
All the woodland
All the
animals,
woodland
yes.
animals, and I always appreciate these. So the number 1 fabric has this really sweet raccoons and owls and deer and even a little cardinal. Yeah, so it is gorgeous fabric. And that fabric is going to go everywhere you see the picture fabric here. So it's going to be the same kind of thing, really fun to look at the full width of the fabric.
So nice.
Then our number 2, to pick up all of those beiges and browns in the quilt, in the focus fabric, is our tan that we've got here. It's going to go in the 4 patch. And then the number 3 fabric, it's kind of a cocoa brown, really kind of a nice shade to go with this. It really does pick up those colors all the way through the quilt. It has those kind of in the branches and the
reddish,
berries. And,
Very
so,
fun.
Very nice. So let's look at an image of this. That is so fun. Yeah, you can just see all of the animals either scampering or sitting around in the forest. Really nice look. And
Really, really nice. I love the way we are getting all of this inspiration from all of you, and we are able to pull something together similar, because I know I've probably said this with every quilt, but you inspire us so much, and I think this is great, and I love these forest animals.
as you can see from this, your inspiration can inspire someone else, and you do not have to worry about whether it's going to look great or not. It's going to look fantastic.
It is, and you guys are doing a great job with it.
Absolutely.
This is a fun one.
So this kit is called Forest Fables. It's the Checkmate pattern from Quilts for Kids.
Now, our next very inspiring quilt was sent in by Chadwick. Now, Chadwick made the enchanting pattern from the Magic of 3-Yard Quilts. And she's done something a little bit different here. She's incorporated a 4th fabric so that that little diamond where the blocks join, which is really cool because it kind of pops.
It really does.
Stands out, and I really, really love this.
I love it whenever you step outside the box and you do something different like this. It's very inspirational.
It really is, and what a perfect place to do that. You know, some people have said, well, I didn't quite have a yard, so I incorporated that 4th fabric. This is the perfect way to do that. Just a little bits in your quilt that you can just use that 4th fabric, and it really accentuates the design and just makes it go over the top. Like yours, Chadwick, it's beautiful. In fact, we have been so inspired by this quilt that Hannah is actually planning on making the enchanting pattern just because of Chadwick's photo.
That is so cool.
I think it is so cool. And she's probably going to be incorporating that 4th fabric too in that little diamond. So you have really inspired us.
That's great.
So we have some fabric here that we tried to get close, kind of like yours, and I think it's going to be really, really pretty. So our focus fabric, we have a beautiful kind of a watercolor floral on the green background. And this is our focus fabric. It's going to go in the big block here, and then it will be our little diamonds there as well. And I love it because it's a little bit bigger print and it is tossed, so you can put it in all these places and it's really going to showcase perfectly. Then our number 2 is a wonderful textured light purple, kind of a lilac. That is going to go everywhere you see the pink on this one. And then we've anchored it all off with this gorgeous purple that's just so rich and yummy, and it has lots of depth in it.
I love the way that purple picks up the purple in the focus fabric. That's gorgeous.
Love this combination of the green and the purple. Oh, Chadwick, thank you for inspiring us to do that because I love this. Okay, so our purple is going to go everywhere. The blue is here, a little on the border there. Like I said, it's really going to pull it all together, I think. So pretty. I really like the way it turned out, and I love the lavender in the background.
It's like a beautiful little garden.
It is. So it really gives you that movement. And then our focus fabric and that big block to really showcase works perfectly. Really like the way that came out, and even that little bit in the diamond is great. All right, let's get you the kit information on this. It is called Floral Party, and it is the enchanting quilt from the book Magic of 3-Yard Quilts.
Now, Rebecca used one of my favorite patterns. I just love Roman Holiday, and I love what she's done. She used a really woodsy kind of a feel to her fabrics. In fact, the focus fabric has the cutest little squirrels in there. They're just adorable. And it's such a nice, soothing, peaceful kind of a quilt.
Yeah, I can see that. I really like the beige in the background as well. Great contrast, Rebecca, with your number 3 so that you can really see that design popping. So good.
It gives you so much interest whenever you look at a quilt that's put together the way Rebecca put this one together.
It's perfect.
Now, we did get some fabric that we thought would be perfect for this as well. It's a similar feel. It's got that woodsy feel. We went with a little more kind of sagey greens in there. And the focus fabric has the animals. I think the squirrels are all up in the trees eating nuts right now because we don't have any squirrels on our fabric, but we have bunnies and owls and with some mushrooms, fox.
Cute.
So that's going to go everywhere. We have our big block, and it's going to showcase those animals so well. Now, I love the background. We always say the background fabric, the number 2, should be interesting. This is such a beautiful, soothing green.
It really is beautiful. Lots of texture in this.
A lot of texture. And that's going to go in the background, in the areas that you see the white on this quilt, which causes that contrast for your number 3. And is this fun? So we've got mushrooms. We've got all these really colorful mushrooms, and they're going to be on the borders, and then they're creating that background block that looks like it's underneath the focus fabric.
And with that dark brown background, it's going to work perfect because you're still going to get your contrast that you need.
And you know, it almost acts like a double focus.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Because you see a lot of it on the borders. When you have a wide border like this, you'll see the mushrooms. And then even here, it's going to be perfect because you've got the interest of your light background with your box behind the focus fabric. It's going to look great together, but let's look at an image and see that.
And it works, even though our number 3 has that great print, which I love.
Yeah.
It has that brown background, so the contrast is there.
Yeah, it's fun because it gives you a double focus in a whole new way.
Yes.
I hadn't thought of that as this quilt being a double focus quilt, but it works.
It
really
works.
well.
Because both of those fabrics are precious.
Yes.
I love all the little animals.
And I love the fact that the background is that really soft kind of a color that blends perfectly with each of the others, but has the contrast there.
It's great. Thank you for the inspiration.
Very much. We really do appreciate your inspirations on the fabrics that you've chosen for your quilts. Now, this kit is called Cottage Core, and it's the Roman holiday pattern from Quick as a Wink.
Now, Debbie shared a picture of her candy stripe quilt with us, and it is made up in a beautiful orange and cream and bright sunshiny yellow color combination.
It's awesome. It makes me want to go sit on the patio with a glass of lemonade.
It's so bright and happy.
Yes.
I love this combination, and I love that you use the candy stripe pattern.
It has so much
easy.
movement in it, and with these bright and happy, it's almost like you've got a party going on in this quilt.
It is so cool, and I love the movement in it. It's got some diagonal movement. It's got some vertical movement going on there. It's very fun. Debbie, I really like this color combination. The texture in your focus fabric with the orange and the yellow, and then the yellow on the background. It's great. It's perfect. Great job. Way to go. Now, Debbie, you inspired us to pull a kit together with a similar combination, which is great.
It did turn out good.
I'm just like, wow, this is so good. Okay.
You know what's fun is we laughed a lot while we were talking about these colors.
Yes.
And it's like it's infectious.
It's happy.
Yes,
It's really,
it really
really
is.
happy. So our focus fabric is this great orange background, and it has all these circles. And they're circles inside of circles with some yellow and some pink and some darker pink. And this is going to be our focus. It's going to go everywhere. You see kind of the peachy color on this one. And then we've paired it with the greatest number 2 fabric, an off-white that has circles inside of circles inside of circles that are made with polka dots.
I know, that's so fun.
That is going to go everywhere you see the light turquoise on this quilt. And then for our border, we have the most yummy, sunshiny yellow for our border here.
That's wonderful.
good, really
and
good.
you know, on a dreary day, there's nothing like a quilt with real bright, happy colors.
Yeah. I just love things that make me smile, and this makes me smile. Now, here's an image on the screen for you, and I love the way this came together.
It is so cool.
I love those big polka dots.
Yeah, I was going to
there.
say, it just looks like big polka dots on that number 1 fabric.
So cool. And what's really neat is the yellow frames it really, really well. It is just a beautiful sunny frame with the neat movement, once again, of that diagonal and that vertical line. I think it's just super, and the colors are great. Debbie,
Yes.
oh my gosh, thank you for the inspiration. It is great. All right, let's get everyone the kit information on this. It is called Citrus Spark, and it is our candy stripe pattern.
Thank you for sharing your quilts with us. We love seeing them so much. And if you would like to send us a picture of your quilt, just send it to welisten@fabriccafe.com.
If you would like to see even more quilts from our amazing quilting family, then be sure to watch the video that pops up. Happy quilting!